I love you. Interrupt our program. Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Interrupt our program to bring you this important message. I love you. Interrupt our program to bring you...
All right, and what's going on? Whoa. I don't know what's going on here, but when I go to the camera over there, I'm not here. Isn't that crazy? What? I'm still here in this one. That's so random. Wow. I'm hoping the audio is working. Let's see. What is going on here? Right. I might have to do this without my main camera, which was working like 30 seconds ago. Yes. All right. It seems like... Nope. What is going on here? Right. I'm going to go... I'm going to go to this camera, and hopefully I will be able to deal with the panic of the other camera not working at some point in time when we go to one of the videos. So, if everyone can see me, we've got a great episode today. I'm super excited about it. Bit of a panic getting it ready, not going to lie about that. But we have... Well, let's be fair. I was going to call this Wellness Wednesdays or Workout Wednesdays, and I was going to be all healthy and stuff today, but I did promise yesterday I'd make a Remember the Main. So instead of doing Wellness or Workout Wednesdays, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Mindful Mondays. And Mindful Mondays, I'm going to make like low, no, or non-alcoholic drinks for people in case you're at home, you're bored out of your tits, and you don't want to drink alcohol, which is probably responsible. Now, also, so today, for that reason, doing the Wellness Wednesday kind of concept that I had up until the last minute, literally the last minute. I've done some cycling video and I've done some workout video, neither of which were great. We've got a Mitch's Minute, which is awesome, and that's Electra texting me. Oh, it got working. Okay, well, we've got Mitch's Minute. We got Arijit Bose, the legend that is Arijit Bose, the Prince of India, Arijit Bose, to make a cocktail video. I might start with that because it takes like 6 minutes. So it gives me 6 minutes to fix the main camera, which did start working for a moment, but then immediately turned itself off. We've got G-Man back. So we've given G-Man, I think it would make sense if G-Man had like a regular spot and we just gave a spot to G. G could have his own spot on the show on a regular basis. But he sent in a video where he is doing some great initiative for the on-trade. And I'd love for you guys to tune in on that. Obviously, if you're tuned in now, maybe in 20 minutes it'll show and then you'll still be tuned in and it'll be great. I'm going to taste a different version of Kinimvi today. I know yesterday I tasted one of the Kinimvis that came from Amazon. Today I'm going to taste another one. And I decided after yesterday, I was so surprised, pleasantly surprised by the amount of information on the outside of the box, that I figure instead of tasting the other one this morning, I'm just going to taste it live on air and we'll go through it together. We've got the Remember the Main cocktail. I remembered the Remember the Main this time, and in the interest of making it fun, right? Let me cut to the other camera. Here are the three options of rye. We've got Jack Daniel's rye, Bullet rye, or Willet 110 proof 4-year-old from hand bottled from barrel number 100 family release rye. I bought this maybe, I don't know, like 10 years ago. It's number 93 of 100. I have no idea what that would be worth today, but that was in my collection. And for a while, I was running around trying to find these two, couldn't find them. They were hidden behind the Irish. I put them back in the wrong spot. And we have options for vermouth. We got either martini vermouth or discarded, both of which are open, right? And I don't know how much more I can stress this, but if you open a bottle of vermouth, chew through it. If you've got like 3 or 4 bottles of unopened vermouth, don't open them all at the same time unless you plan to drink them, right? It is wine at the end of the day. So we got 1 vote for Willet. Oh, Willet, danger zone. It's going to make it tasty, remember the main. Right, so now, if you can still hear me, I'm going to try this camera one more time. And I'm just seeing a frozen image of me. So I don't know if you guys are seeing the whole video, but I'm seeing a frozen image. So anyway, I'm assuming it's working because I got a text message saying it was working. But either way, I'm going to cut now to Arijit making a cocktail. Arijit, you legend.
Yo, Dean. Well, I'm in Goa lockdown. Don't have a lot of ingredients, so trying to show you guys things that I do quickly at home, which are easy, does not garbage much. Garbage pickup has been a little bit of an issue, so trying my best to be a good boy. So out here I'm drinking Earl Grey iced tea highball kind of thing with a little bit of gin. Earl Grey concoction that I usually end up making and keeping it in a big jar. Mix it with a little alcohol, a spoon of vinegar, because I remember I don't have lime, so that kind of gives it the balance. Not too much, about just a spoon and a half. And usually what I would do is top it up with tonic water. I'm using Bengal Bay here. Nice little boys. They were able to send me a stash of tonic before it ended. So a great little drink that you can do at home. Iced teas, want it with alcohol, without alcohol, always works. Oh, that's tasty. I also wanted to demonstrate a nice little opener that my friend Ananya got for me from Africa. It's a Masai Mara bottle opener, super simple kind of shit that you usually like. Okay, the drink I'm going to show you is super simple, Negroni. Usually nowadays people have the ingredients. I find it super easy to make, simply because you're not using any lime, you're not using any perishables which can be repurposed for better things. This is just coming out of the bottle and I can pretty much last out for a month with whatever I have. So simple easy drink. I'm gonna load my mixing glass with ice. I just made one, so it's kept nice and ready. I'm gonna go. All of you guys do know how to make a Negroni. All of your watchers probably have seen this and drink this all the time. So not really gonna explain. Go in equal parts. I go slightly higher amount of Campari simply because of a little bit of coffee liqueur that I'm going to add at the end of it. Martini vermouth. Luckily I had a bottle. A friend got married. We were handling the bar for them, so a lot of this stuff came home. I did whatever was left. I did steal it. Now look at me. I can make Negronis. Deepak, shout out to you. Thanks for giving me all the stash. Last but not the least, the tour de force, El Supremo, the Lover's Rum. You know, David and me have been working on this for a fairly long time. Barbados, Nicaragua, Panama, Guatemala, and Dominican all blended together. Intended to be a rum that you can drink like a whiskey. Super simple, easy to understand. We basically listed down all the rums that we like and kind of worked on a blend leading towards that direction. Of course, makes very good daiquiris. I like Hotel Nationals. Uh, but days like this, a little bit of a rum Negroni twist is not bad at all. So I'm going to go a nice healthy measure. Believe it or not, though the rum is supposed to come to India, this is the last bottle. So this is my last bit left, but I'm glad I get to share it with you. Nice healthy measure. Give it a quick stir. Dilution and all of that jazz, you know how it is. When I moved to Goa, the reason I moved there is there are a bunch of distilleries which exist near my house, making craft gin, few breweries, so the whole scene is popping. You gotta come and visit. One of the guys also makes this coffee rum, which is less than $10, but pretty good. I was super surprised. I do like using it. As you can see, I've been having it with my morning coffee. So not a lot left. I'll see if I can get you a bottle ever. I'm going to go in about 10 mils. Do not want to overpower it, but it will balance out the extra Campari that I got in, and plus the fact that it's a liqueur, so there's a little bit of extra sweetness going in. It's a nice little pick me up, which I greatly enjoy. Come that out. Stir it, look cool. I like the whole vinegar addition of it with tea. I think it works. Could be a thing. Nice little chilled glass. The small luxuries of life, because we are not animals, as I keep saying. Shout out to Alex Cretina for giving me this mixing glass during event that we handled back in the day. I still have it. He's been doing freaking amazing. Monica Berg, all of those guys. Not seen you forever. Hopefully when all of this gets done, I will get back towards your side. So there you go. A nice little bit Goan coffee Negroni. As best as what I could do. No garnish, no frills. Super easy. More under my group of drinks called the One and Done. I'm gonna do this properly because I prepped. Got a little bit of a Negroni cap to be all cool and shit. Salud, cheers, stay home, stay safe. I love everything that you guys have been doing. Dean Callan Show, your freaking backyard bar. Those are in the top 10 things that make me smile all the time. Thank you so much. A big shout out. Oh, baby. One and done. The world was intended for spirit forward drinks. I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Not frozen. All right. So thank you so much, Arijit. If anyone has not met him before, he's an absolute legend, and his rum is delicious. I've tasted it. I don't have a bottle yet. When I get a bottle, as soon as I'm able to get a hold of it, as far as I understand, they have a route to market now. They've got someone selling it for them in the UK. So we will be able to buy it soon. And as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to buy it. Right. So Michael, you warned me, right, that G-Man is watching. So like, I'm going to put it to a vote, right? If I get more than one of the same, or I'm going to go with that cherry liqueur. But if I get otherwise I'll just go with this one. Because that's what I would have normally used. But I've got options. So let me know if there's a vote you want me to swing this way. Just let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will be using this. So if G-Man is watching, all he's got to do is you know say what he wants, and I will swing that way. Right. So before that though, now as you can see, I've got all my ingredients prepped here. I've got my cherries unopened. I've got my little absinthe dasher. If you're ever interested, you can buy these little medical jar things on Amazon for super cheap. and they happen to be the same size as the little tops. So you don't have to buy super fancy Dasher bottles if you don't want to. You can get these for super cheap, and they're the same size as the top. You could also use the little, you know, San Bitter bottles if you want to go super cheap, and you get a free drink out of it. But I think those things look quite cool. Right, now all my ingredients down here. Because I've already committed to doing a tasting, I'm gonna open this, and it's been sat in my storage for years. I'm gonna open this and have a little taste of it and get a sense for just how strong, how dry, how spicy it is before I go to make my drink. And there we go. The cork was just too dry. Right, let me see. Do I have a fix for this? This is the danger of going live. This is the danger. Right, so for anyone that hasn't seen one of these before, this is a wine opener that is kind of, I guess, used mostly for bottles like this. I don't know how successful it's going to be. I'm like, I'm going to start prepping for it to be a disaster. Yeah, this is a super dry cork. Right, so this, you can, if you're very, very good at what you do, and I am not, you can put the blade, oh, it's such a tiny piece of cork, down the side. Oh, this is going to be vicious. Pry it out. Normally, if it was a wine cork, you'd be able to get further down into it, which it is not. This is evil. This is the most evil thing that could have happened to me with this bottle. Nope, that's gone. That sucks balls. Well, at least we know. Get the cork out of there as quick as you possibly can, because you don't want it to taste the flavor. Right. We will come back to that. In the meantime, I wanted to show everyone the stresses of doing a live show. Oh, look at that. It doesn't even fit through the neck. That sucks. The stresses of doing a live show and preparing it so that there's some entertaining stuff. So I reached out to Arijit and I said to Arijit, I'm like, hey buddy, because I know he's amazing on camera. Would you mind doing a quarantine cocktail for me? And Arijit said, yeah, what do I need to do? And I said, you need to make a video. It doesn't have to be super fancy. It doesn't have to be like, you know, a high-end video or anything like that. But just a video demonstrating a drink that you might make at home. You could probably use your rum and send it in to me. And then he sent it like a while ago, right? But I'll show you the video he sent me. It wasn't the one you just seen. I'm going to show you the video he sent me, right? So if I can find it. This is the first video I got.
Yeah, so one and done, and I am getting there. It's going to be a good evening. So yeah, there you go. That was a quick outtake. I completely forgot to tell you the joke that I prepped for you. A little bit of two lovers, Negronis with coffee kind of got to me. However, here you go. Why did the mermaid start wearing seashells? Tick, tick, 1, 2, 3, a sip, build the suspense. Cause she grew out of the bee shells. I might go to jail for this shit now. But again, cheers.
Right, so that was the first video I got, which for anyone that knows the previous videos that I've had on the show, it didn't fall in line with the video I was expecting. I thought he was going to do what he did in the second video he sent me. So I panicked, right? I'm like, man, I got like an hour and a half max. This is a paper filter. It's designed for filtering very small things out of very fine liquids. I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to create suction and get all that cork out. While this is happening, right, so where was I? Hour and a half until the show was going on air. and I thought to myself, like, I need help. And Mitch, who, you know, Mitch from Mitch's Minutes, Mitch had just finished sending me his Mitch's Minute, and obviously that meant he was awake. Like, he's sending me these things at like 8:30 in the morning, because he's in LA, and he's sending them to me, like, I'm drip feeding him a question at a time so that he doesn't know, you know, he's waking up in the morning and he's being asked the question. It makes a lot of sense. If he was doing it late at night, God knows he might be busy. If he's doing it first thing in the morning, you know, we know we've got a captive audience, right? So first thing in the morning, Mitch wakes up, he gets this. Right after I get my Mitch's Minute, I'm like, dude, can you send me through a quarantine cocktail? Because I don't have one. No, like, no one sent me one, so I really need one. So Mitch sends me a quarantine cocktail. Before you watch Mitch's Minute today, I'm going to show you what Mitch did in like 1 minute's notice, right? Where is he? Mitch's cocktail.
Alright, the fastest and probably most underdiluted hanky-panky I've ever made. Gin, Archie Road. Sweet vermouth. Bronco. Best orange bitters you can't buy. Shout out Hannah Lamphere. Biggest bass ring you've ever fucking seen. Shout out Sullivando. Right, I'm a strong believer that you can put an absinthe rinse on every single drink ever made. Today we're going to put on a hanky-panky. Tomorrow I'm going to put on a mojito. Oh, we're already over minutes. Pretty fucking nice, pretty fucking dry. Glass is cold. Testing for the mojito. Slow.
All right, that was Mitch. Thank you so much, Mitch. That was awesome. So at a short notice, bangs out a drink at like 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, 8:45, whatever it is in the morning over there. And he then sent me a message saying starting your day with a boozy hanky-panky is probably not the best. And I sent him the video that I just put together. I was able to I'd already just been doing Mitch's Minute, so I just dragged the next Mitch image in, just placed it on top of the Mitch's Minute video, and then like twitched it around on Final Cut Pro, so it didn't take very long. But I was pretty impressed by the beginning and ending of the quarantine cocktail video. I might create one for the next quarantine cocktail video. Right, so this nightmare has now filtered, and I can see tiny, tiny little flecks of cork. So we did save it. Because this membrane, you're not going to get cork coming through on that. You can barely get fat coming through on it. Right, so. Do we have a vote on which cherry liqueur we're using? Are we doing cherry hearing? But I'm not hearing anything. So if I don't hear anything, we're doing hearing, okay? This is delicious, by the way. Oh. How did I not open this before? I think the other ones I had were like 3-year-old. I've got a 25-year-old as well, which is pretty badass. That's in storage. Yes! G-Man come through. We're making it with Luxardo. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. And then I'm going to do Mitch's Minute. Okay? It's time for Mitch's Minute. Let's keep this rolling. All of the contributors, all the people that have gotten a spot on the show. Thank you, Mitch. Let's have a look at Mitch's Minute, episode 13.
Oh, that's an easy one. It's almost 4 years since I've been back to my spiritual home of Sydney. So if I could be anywhere, I would be in Sydney. I would go to Archie Rose Distillery in Rosebery, who I previously worked at in the bar and blending gins and helped mashing in the mornings. I think they're doing some wonderful stuff down there. However, if it wasn't the fucking coronavirus, I would go back to Herf. Our trip to Spain was one of the fucking greatest things I think we've ever done. Obviously, you led that trip. It was amazing. I love Coopers. I'm obsessed with barrels. The bodega that we went to, where we tried all the fucking, like the 70-year-old Cinzano and the 92-year-old single barrel Pedro Jimenez and the fucking 100-year-old Hungarian chestnut oak that had Fino in it for 2 years. It was just a fucking spiritual experience for me. So that was arguably my favorite place in the world and my favorite trip ever.
All right, and I'm back. The trip Mitch was talking about, when I was a brand ambassador at global level, I was fortunate enough to be able to have brand ambassador workshops, and that means all the brand ambassadors have to go to the same place. And I made my brand ambassador workshops at places like Tell's the Cocktail and Jerez, so that we could go and learn about sherry. You know, it was quite cool. And that trip, we had just such a great team, and it was such a great time. I'd love to go back there, but everyone's kind of like sometimes I'd love to go back and revisit the exact same thing, but sometimes you've got to let a great moment be a great moment. And that's one of those moments that brings a smile to my face every single time. And it's also the reason I'm wearing my Vote for Pedro Jimenez t-shirt, which, funnily enough, I won a cocktail competition off the back of a Vote for Pedro shirt, where I, using paint, very early days of Facebook, crossed out Pedro and wrote Dino. It was a Galliano competition, and I'm holding my Galliano bottle, and I'm holding my cocktail, and I'm like, and no one had really said like vote for me in this cocktail comp yet, and people voted for me, and I won. It was pretty cool. I won a giant gold-plated Galliano bottled trophy, which still I own. It's the only trophy that I have. I won like Bartender of the Year in China, and I didn't even hang on to that. I don't know where that plaque has gone. I think I lost it even before I got to the UK. But my gold-plated giant Galliano trophy I've got right here in the cabin. Pride and joy. Pride and joy. Greatest, most phallic trophy ever. Right, so putting this aside, before I make this cocktail, I'm going to sit and sip on this. We now know what we're making it with. I'm going to play G's spot, the spot that we've dedicated to him. And I hope you enjoy it. And guys, get involved with these kind of initiatives. They may be the make or break for some people's bars. And that's the reason I started doing the live show. I wanted to promote things. Again, I am still selling this anti-thinker tinker hat. So if you're crazy, or you know a crazy person, maybe you know a crazy person that's into super conspiracy theories and stuff, get them this hat. I'm discounting it now to £349. I don't know what my last price was, but it's now £349. All the money will go to Sergio Lianza, the Lianza Bonanza himself, and his bar, Funky Dory. Right, so G-Man. Let's do G-Man. Where is he? Number?
Hey guys, this is G from Luxardo and Team Spirit. This is a public service broadcast on behalf of the worldwide hospitality industry. Do you like eating out? Do you have a favorite restaurant? Do you have a bar or a pub which is like the pillar of the community? Well, guess what? These places need your help. One of the ways in which you can help is real good fun. It's called the Virtual Happy Hour, and here's how you can join in.
Hey, Steph D here to tell you about the Virtual Happy Hour. It was started by a group of friends who really wanted to help out all the bars and pubs that we love so much. And also, we wanted to bring people like you together with your friends, and that's why we need you. So grab your friends, grab your favorite drink, and enjoy the Virtual Happy Hour. Here we go.
Boom. Thanks, Steph. My name's Josh from Propping Up the Bar. Simply set a time and date with your friends and family, or whoever you fancy having a little catch up with, while sipping on something tasty. Use whatever platform is best for you. There's loads out there that fit the bill. You could try FaceTime, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp video, whichever app you do decide to use. As you've got everyone on the screen there, screenshot that bad boy, post it on your social media with a hashtag #TheVirtualHappyHour. Boom!
Thanks, Josh. I'm Anna and I'm here to tell you about the important bit, which is how you donate. So when the happy hour is finished, the group leader gets donations from the group for their part of the round. Then the leader organises the donation of the round to the group's favourite bar, pub or restaurant. It might be a GoFundMe page, a PayPal link or a gift voucher, whatever. The most important thing is that you host your virtual happy hour and that you donate to your favourite pub, bar or restaurant. Cheers!
That's it, people. It's the Virtual Happy Hour. Get involved and help save the bars and restaurants in your community.
All right, so we're almost done with this. One thing I have never mentioned on this show, I'm going to save it for an episode I plan to do soon, entitled How to Pour Liquid into a Glass, right? Or just how to pour liquid. I want to do that because Rebecca Dooley I think she might have wrote it. She wrote it in her magazine. It was meant to be satire, but I'm going to make it a real thing. When you're pouring, if you're pouring out of a glass container, for example, as thick as this with a giant big lip, and it's very thin liquid, you are going to get spillage all over the place. But if you convert it to a small one with a sharp lid, then you don't need to turn it quite so high, and you can get a nice little cut off it. See, I didn't spill any, which is nice. Right, so on to Remember the Main. So this is spicy, delicious, really heavy, loads of flavor. I'm loving it. It makes me feel like I'm walking through a warehouse on a hot day in Kentucky. It smells amazing. Right, I'm going to stir this down. I'm going to start with my absinthe. Just a couple of little dashes there. These are really tiny little holes on the end of that dasher. Next, I'm going to put my dash maraschino liqueur. And then, classic. This came in our Ocado order like 20 minutes before the show started. And Electra poured herself a vermouth and tonic and then gave it to me. So, you know, it's so fresh. And we love fresh martini vermouth. One of those. Going to double that in the rye. It's not going to fit in the glass that I've selected, but I want it to be heavy on rye. I want to really taste this. So, ooh, wait, I have my metal straws. No more spoonage. Let me see. New metal spoon. That'll do. That'll do nice. Right. So, bit of ice. It's not the best ice for the stirring, but I'm sure it'll do the job. Now, for this drink, I already pre-chilled the glass. I want the glass to be nice and cold. I wanted to take my time to stir this down. Oh, so nice. Right. How many of you drink Remember the Maine? Did the Remember Maine come up because I was talking about bourbon Manhattans with maraschino, like the Jockey Club? I think that's why it came up. But I made it. I didn't forget to Remember the Maine this time. I've got it nicely diluted, and I'm going to put it into what is becoming one of my favorite glasses. This guy here. Look at that. Frosty. Okay. Now I'm going to need a sidecar for this puppy because it is going to be too big. There you go. Save this one. Well, he'd be waiting 17 years. I was going to say save it for Axel, but I won't. I'll save it for Electra. I'll put it in the fridge. She can have it when I'm done here. That reminds me, also in the Ocado order was this, which I kind of shoved hastily into the fridge. A sherry and tonic spritz. I've never seen this before. If anyone has tried it before, let me know. I think because it's kind of a low ABV. No, you know what? I'll taste it on the show tonight. I'm not going to wait around. We can do different stuff on Monday. Right, so garnish. Got my cherry here. These cherries are delicious, by the way. One day, I want to get the guys from the Savoy to teach us how to do their recipe for their brandied cherries, because they are, or you know, whatever you call it, but well, I call them brandied cherries. I don't know why. I don't know where I got that from, but their cherries are the best cherries. Myself and Electra go to the Savoy on a regular occasion, and they have the best cherries. Electra loves cherries. Right, so let's have a taste. Oh, okay. Earlier, when I made the drink, obviously I haven't bartended for like 10 years properly. I bartended for a couple of months and I just shouted at everyone. I really wanted to be a barback the whole time that I last bartended. But previous to that, it was Canalo, which was a tiki bar, previous cocktail bar, like doing, when I say cocktails, I mean classic cocktails, this style of drinks, would have been Milk and Honey, long time ago. So when you're working in a bar and you're regularly making drinks and you're regularly studying the spec, you've got really good quality kind of recipes in your head. And as society changes and people's palates change, your recipes change along with them because you're constantly growing and evolving. My recipes are like all over the place. So I'm constantly adding dashes of things and topping things up. When I first tasted this, given that that seems to be quite boozy, yeah, it's 55% ABV or 110 proof. I decided that like it needed a little bit of softening. It was a bit too high volatile, but having stirred it down and added that little bit of dilution, it's much more mellow. So I would have stuck to my original recipe if I knew how it was going to turn out when I chilled it and stirred it down. Oh, that is magic. Right, so in my posts, I promised the fat man from the internet, look, everybody likes different things. I don't personally like this video all that much. I think it's cool that someone's gone to all the effort. I might have to watch it again, but it feels a little bit, I don't know, Brexit-y, but it's not really. Maybe I'm just politicizing something that doesn't need to be politicized. Enjoy. I was sent this. I think it's cool, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you get a little distraction out of it. Right, where is he? Let's see. He's...
Once in every generation, people of our land are called upon by history to bravely take a stand. Patriotic Britons, hear your country call to you. We all must do our duty now, which means we all must do fuck all. Fuck all. Fuck all. All good people, heed your nation's call. A time of national crisis needn't be a time of stress if we have a bit of government mandated idleness. Fuck all, fuck all, so diligently on yourself a scroll. Indefinitely procrastinate, go back to bed and masturbate as long as you will do fuck all. Could do a spot of decorating or some gardening. Hang a picture, put up shelves or other useful thing. Marie Kondo all your wardrobes, you will be so glad you did. Or finally write your novel. Who we trying to kid will do fuck all. Fuck all, fuck all, fuck all. Eat cereal while staring at the wall. It's an easy way to spend a week or 2 or 5 or 6. The time has come for us to chill with or without Netflix. Fuck all, fuck all, fuck all, fuck all. Standing absolutely still and standing tall. Reducing infectivity by ceasing all activity while time slows to a crawl. Fuck all. What will save us when it comes to it is the laziness of your average bit, and we have the wherewithal to do fuck all. Fuck all.
All right, sorry, I was trying to rejig and get set up for another Remember the Main. You know, Michael, I'm going to make a second one because I enjoyed that. That was delicious, but it's gone. And I usually make 2 drinks. Now, I also got the sound system working again. It feels a little too quiet in here without it. Right, so, tasting. Today, I have the Kininvie single malt Scotch whiskey, right? So it comes packaged the same as the, was it like single grain yesterday? Yes, single grain. That was the one with the rye. Right, so yesterday we did the single grain. Today we're doing the single malt. So the back has the same setup on the box. Right, so it has the same markings and everything. Inside looks like it's the same markings. Yeah, it is. All right, so this is like, I love that it's so like such simple branding. I'll throw this down here. It's such simple branding, but at the same time very complicated. It's like aimed at geeks. So on this one, objective: to investigate triple distillation mass balance used in Irish distillation processes to see what can be applied to our own Scotch whisky distilling. This is pretty cool because I'm a massive fan of Irish whiskies. There's not a huge amount of them on the back bar because I drink them all too fast. Experiment. Establish the parameters to allow a 3rd distillation process in the distillery. Run 1 week's production using these parameters and compare. Variables. Mash size 9.6 tons mash. Wash distillation time 5 hours. Spirit distillation time 5.5 hours. Wow. Okay, so the wash come through faster than the spirit did. 3rd distillation time 9.4. That's really, like, I wonder how they're doing that. It's all in Kininvie. Those stills, like, they're having to open them up after each distillation, right? Yeah, they would. Crazy. Okay, casks filled, ex-bourbon casks, filling date 2013, bottling date 2019. So that puts this at 6 years old rather than yesterday. I think yesterday's was 4. Interesting. And it's a lighter color, 47% ABV. Let's check this baby out. Right, now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to need a little dash of water to clean my mouth out. I put a tasting glass to my mouth and I just smell as if it's spirit. It's not even a spirit. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Triple distilled Kininvie. You get a really clean, like wet barley nose on it immediately. And I don't want to say like vanilla, but it's got like a kind of like a malt milkshakey sort of a smell. It's interesting how much more floral this is than you would get with a straight two distillation Scotch whiskey. It does lean a little bit more to an Irish style. I'd love to put this up against other Irish whiskies in a blind tasting. When I say other Irish whiskies, I mean put it up against actual Irish whiskies in a blind tasting and tell everyone these are, you know, which one is the odd one out and see what people say. It'd be interesting. Yeah, delicious, really good. I'm loving these. I've got the third one too. I bought all three at the same time and I was expecting to sit down and do a comparative tasting, but after kind of jumping onto it and doing a live tasting of something I'd never unboxed before. There's two of them today. The first one was a disaster, obviously. This one works really well because the lid just comes straight off, no cork. But yeah, I'm going to do the same thing again tomorrow. But tomorrow I'm going to nickname Fun Day Friday. So tomorrow, loads of fun. Right, to wrap today up, I'm going to make one more Remember the Main. While I do so, I am going to talk about Bell Shaker. So for those of you that don't already know, these are vintage Bell Shakers. Hey Luca, ciao! Ciao mama! These are vintage Bell Shakers, right? So this is a super old one. The handle comes off and all that sort of stuff. The way this one would work is you take this out of here. It's like pretty like rugged and not finessed, but you would put your cocktail inside there and then you put this on the top. Now bear in mind this one is missing an actual bell chime. I don't know why. I bought this a long time ago and I guess not many, I didn't have many Bell Shakers and I seen it was older and it had a different style to it, to this one. But I don't like this one as much as this one. This one's way cooler. So during Prohibition, people tried to hide, you know, cocktail shakers. So this one, you can, right? But if you take the top off, you've got this. Oh, I'm going to play this track louder. You got this, right? That's where the drink pours out. And if I can get this open, you put your ingredients in there, and as you can see, if maybe that's not the best view, as you can probably see now, there's a grate in there, right? So once this goes on, put your ingredients in there, you put it back together, you make a cocktail, you strain it. If the police come in and they want to check out your, you know, venue to see if are you making cocktails, these are, you know, innocently on the back bar and they're supposed to represent bells, right? Town crier bells or whatever. Cocktail, Bell Shaker, 1920s odd. Right, so I'm going to make another Remember the Main. I want to see what does it taste like with a different, oh, I don't need that right now, do I? With a different base. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it a little bit faster than we had done before. Little dash of our cherry. We got 1 of martini. So, I don't know if everybody watching knows about this, but I've been joining the Martini Racing Ciclismo for the last couple of years. I've been very lucky to get to go to Italy 3 times with them. I'm going to make the bold assumption that I won't, no matter how hard I cycle this year, I won't get to go. But, you know, and it might be delayed, in fairness, but no matter what they do, whether they delay it, it doesn't happen, I feel like I'm already there. I've been cycling more than I ever would had it not become something that bartenders were doing, people in my industry were doing. And Davide has, you know, invited me several times to join him in a Zwift session. For those that don't know it, Zwift is a virtual like world where you can cycle. My thought is I'm gonna try, he doesn't know this, but I'm gonna attempt, if I get 3 people to tell me I should do it. That's 3 people. If 3 people tell me I should attempt it, I will attempt to do a live show from in here whilst riding my bike on a resistance machine, which is not an easy task, in my full martini kit, which will be both distracting and embarrassing. And embarrassing because I kind of, you know, it's very self-conscious, not because it's bad kit, it's amazing kit. If people think I should go ahead and do this because it'll be entertaining, then I need 3 people to say do it, right? 3 people and I'm doing it. And I'm gonna see if Davide will join me through Zwift to ride with me while I do a live session. I'm gonna lose any race he decides to have, but I will go live from Zwift. Because I kind of feel like the reason I've taken up cycling, unfortunately, I've got all the kit from those 3 years. The reason I've taken up cycling so much and the reason I feel like I can achieve losing weight as I balloon over Christmas is because I know I can ride 100 kilometers. I know that I can get on the bike and put in time and burn calories. And I know that because I did it with a group of people in Italy, and then having done it, I know I can do it, you know? And when you know you can do something, you know you can get through it, it helps your mind when it comes to starting it again. You know, the beginning of that 100K, you've already done it before. If you've never ridden past 10 kilometers, your brain's going to be like, I can't do 100K, right? But mind over matter. So let's have a little, wait, forgot my cherry. Right. So today, having been such a panicked start with the camera not working, kind of threw me. And I feel like I've been random ever since. But we've gotten through all the little bits that I had on my board for everyone. And now I'm speaking a little bit at a time, like this, because that's how I used to present whenever I got nervous. I'm not nervous. I'll tell myself I'm not nervous. This has been the Dean Callan Show presents Cabin Fever. I hope it's been a distraction. Thank you for your interaction, and good night. Oh, epic fail. Epic fail. I'll do that one more time. This has been the Dean Callan Show, Cabin Fever. It's been, I hope it's been a nice distraction, and what did I say? Thank you for your interaction. Good night. I don't even know how to get out of this anymore. What a fail.